Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, it is that thing that happens between couples when they are rowing, having a quarrel, and you just happen upon the rancor, and then of course you are then trying to decipher what happened to lead to that. So it is a matter of he said, she said. As guys, I bring you this. Ogun government invited Igboho State Commissioner lacks right information, a headline attributed to an aide. So now a counter argument now to the narrative that was put out by the Ogun State government, distancing themselves from the presence of Sunday Igboho or Igboho, however you're choosing to pronounce that name. So they came out to distance themselves from that guy arriving in their state to popular acclaim, by the way, to popular celebration, because of course there's a video on this channel showing how Sunday Igboho was received in Ogun State. But the state government, as I said, distanced themselves from his presence. But it looks as though there's now a counter argument, as again, Ogun government invited Igboho, state commissioner lacked right information, a headline attributed to an aide. So now let's now see what is being said here. The media aid to Yoruba activists. So now let's just pause there for a moment. We're only just starting, but then it looks as though this guy is now towing the path of the average politician now who speaks via a third person. But then of course, if anybody ever needed a media aid or a spokesperson or a spin doctor, but let's call it a spokesperson, if anybody ever needed a spokesperson, it is certainly this Sunday Igboho, because Sunday Igboho speaks a different language from the language that everybody else speaks. His language is direct action. His language is action. So those actions now need to be explained then to the discerning public, so that they can then understand what precipitated it, so that they can be carried along. The language now to explain it to the general public so that they can be carried along is not a language that especially belongs to Sunday Igboho, because his language is different and his language is action. So anybody, if anybody rather ever needed a media aid, it is certainly this guy. So we start all over again. The media aid to the Yoruba activist Sunday Adeyemo, popularly called Sunday Igboho, Dapo Salami, on Tuesday, said the Commissioner for Information in Ogun State, Wahib Odushile, who denied that the state government invited his boss to drive criminal Fulani herdsmen away from the state, lacked the right information. Salami said his principal had decided not to honor any invitation without official backing again. Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun, through Odushile, had denied seeking Igboho's help to curb insecurity in the state. But Salami, who spoke with some reporters in Ibadan on Tuesday, said nobody was killed during his principal's visit to Ogun State. On Monday, he described rumors of violence in Ogun during Igboho's visit as the work of some mischievous elements working against the interest of Yoruba nation, citing the example of the incident in Igboho where nobody was killed during Igboho's visit there. Salami said despite police report and the evicted Seriki Fulani of Igboho not saying anyone was killed, some newspapers reported deaths. You people have started again. We had so many fake news during his visit to Igboho. Some section of the media reported that many were killed, whilst some gave fake casualty figures. Was anybody killed? No is the answer to that. So we know they will give a fake account again. My boss is a lover of Yoruba nation, and that cannot be contested. He loves other tribes too, but hates injustice. His problem is the wicked Fulani people who are terrorizing his people. We spoke just now, and he has said he won't honor any invitation without making it official again. We know Odushile, who denied the invitation, has no information, he said. So he said, she said is where we started, and it is where we are landing on again. So now, in between he said, she said is usually the truth, as we all know. So now the Ogun State government are saying they did not invite this guy. And why would the Ogun State government say that they did not invite this guy? Well, the Ogun State government will say that they did not invite this guy because they cannot be seen acting outside of the law. And this guy, it doesn't have the legal footing for this guy, by the way, I mean Sunday Igboho. This guy, he doesn't have the legal footing for a lot of the things that he does, and he does it mainly as a maverick, as a buccaneer, and as a man of the people and a champion of the oppressed. It's sort of like a Robin Hood sort of figure. This is how he operates, and he operates very much outside of the law. It is a case of slap them down first and then deal with the arguments later. This is his approach, and the Ogun State government, of course, is a constituted, elected, legal entity, and it cannot be seen to be inviting this guy to come and act in the way that we know that he acts. But then again, did the Ogun State government not invite him is the question. Well, that question really is a subjective one, and it's dependent on how you choose to view it. That will then determine how you choose to pick sides, because it stands to reason that the Ogun State government might invite him to come and cause ruckus in that state, just to open up that space as it did in Oyo State, so that they can then put in measures and policies as fillers to then insulate or facilitate or deal with really the problems that has been identified by Igboho's action. Because we saw this in Oyo State when Igboho went to that community in Ibarapa local government area, and it did a lot of mess, and then off the back of that, then Seyi Makinde then sent 200 Amotekun Corps members to go and hold station in that space. So he heightened the tempo to highlight the problem, and then the government of the state then was able to then put in measures as a neutral balancing act, but then of course to change the dynamics. A paradigm shift is what they call it. Even I'm not sure if it's exactly a paradigm shift, but really an impactful action then followed whatever it is that Sunday Igboho did in Ibarapa local government area. So the analogy that I often use with this Igboho thing is that hot spike, that hot blade that cuts through, and then the soothing then comes in terms of the government policies and measures to counter against the problem that he has identified or that he has flashed up with his actions. So this is really how it works. So if we go at the steady pace of government, these Fulani people would have wiped out the entirety of the Yoruba nation before government policies catches up to them. But if somebody like Sunday Igboho goes in and just gives them a kicking in the head, then you can then go in and then just show up that place and secure it, and then act aggressively more towards them, because that situation has then been heightened as a result of the actions of Igboho. That is all we saw. Everything that I've just described played out in Oyo State, and the Ogun State government would do well to want that replicated within their space. But as I said, as the constituted legal authority that are neutral players in the game in the state, they cannot be seen to be associating with somebody that acts outside of the law. So as I said, it's a matter of he said, she said, but whose words are you believing? That is the question. Come give answers to this question in the comment section. But before you come into the comment section to engage, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. Bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well because that helps the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done all the clickings, Sunday Igboho is insisting that he was invited by the Ogun State governor and government, but the Ogun State governor and government are trying their damnedest to distance themselves away from him. What says you? Come share thoughts. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section, but here I say